Hey, my name is Jared Moon, and I'm part of a group of underground athletes you've probably never even heard of before. We don't rely on fancy equipment for training, and most of us don't even have gym memberships. In fact, our motivation comes from within. You see, we have jobs, families, and responsibilities, but we still have big goals, and they aren't getting achieved at a global gym. For that reason, we have to do things differently. Our training has to be smarter. We don't have every piece of equipment known to man or a ton of time to train, and we don't need it, because we are achieving amazing things without it. So how do we do it? If you ask your average personal trainer or gym goer, they'd call us crazy. Yet we're seeing results better than most every single day. And it's happening by blending mental training with physical training and becoming an athlete. What we call and welcome to Garage Gym Athlete.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. Jared Moon here, and with me is Joe. What's up, Joe?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. And Tim Harper, man. How's it going, Tim?
Good.
All right, let's get right into it. Can you give us some basics on you, who you are, what you do, and how you train?
Well, I'm Tim, obviously. I work at an adult foster care with people who have developmental disabilities. And honestly, I moved a year ago and kind of fell off the training bandwagon until just a few weeks ago. I finally got my stuff set up in the garage.
Nice. And
started the Harder to Kill track. And I think it should be harder to breathe, but hard to kill works too.
The hard to breathe track.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. It. Awesome, dude. And so tell me a little bit about that gap right there. So you were, I guess, kind of into it, and you said you fell off the wagon for about a year. Now, the last couple of weeks, you're back into it. So tell me about that little gap, if you don't mind.
Well, I moved into a repossessed home that needed a ton of fix work, and I just kind of put all my time into that for a while, and then the garage got kind of filled with all the junk from the house that we tore out, and I didn't have a place. I kind of did I have a jump rope and a pull-up bar that I utilized, but it wasn't like regularly. It was, maybe a couple times a week or something, and that's about the extent of that. But finally, a month and a half ago, we got the garage all cleaned out, sort of. I mean, we still got junk in here, but I've got room for my weights, and I kind of got to pull them out and put them back in every time I use them, but it works for what I'm doing now.
That's awesome, man. And that's something that, I haven't really talked to too many people about, but I know my dad, his garage is always just like packed, like absolutely packed with
same.
Stuff from floor to ceiling. There would be no space to add really any exercise equipment. And I don't know, I've always, pretty much since I've had a house, we've had a garage gym. And so I've always made that a priority, but I forget that, sometimes what are you going to do with all your stuff, and where are you going to put it and how are you going to fit the garage in? But you're getting it done. So what kind of equipment do you have in your garage?
At the moment, just the weight bench here, and then I got about 600 pounds. I've got 2 full Olympic sets of weights and then some extra barbells, and I got 2 barbells, and then I just pull these pads out, these floor mats, whenever I'm deadlifting and such. I haven't got my safety net done yet, but this is what I put a barbell up between the rafters, and that's what I use pull-ups on.
Nice.
But I'm going to build some kind of safety net so I can safely squat by myself, basically, because I don't want to go too heavy. It scares me. I don't have bumper plates or anything, so I can't just drop it and bail.
Yeah, don't want to bail, and you have nothing there to help you anyway. So yeah, I highly recommend that. I normally say rule number 1 is don't be stronger than the amount of weight you have, but really rule 1 is don't die in the garage gym.
Yeah. Don't have more weight than you can lift.
Right. All right, man. So why did you decide to go the garage gym route?
I'm cheap. Really. That's the
Pretty
bottom
honest
line
answer.
of everything. Everything I do, I'm cheap. I fix my own cars because I'm cheap. We bought a fixer-up house because I'm cheap. So it's kind of like I really don't like recurring bills. I think that's the biggest. I don't like something I have to keep buying. It's like I want something I can buy. And so like that's kind of why I haven't really done the monthly programs. I bought your Harder to Kill track because it's like a one-time thing, and then I get it. That's kind of like
I gotcha.
my personality, I guess.
Yeah, you don't want to be tied down to too many things. I understand that for sure. And so what are some of your goals right now?
I really want to just overall fitness, I guess. I want to get stronger. I feel like my squat is a little weak comparatively. Like I bench about 210 and I only squat like 280. So I want to I think I want to try to double my body weight and squat.
It's a good marker.
So that'd be like 360 at some point ish. Maybe I'll lose some weight too, but that's kind of my goal is just to be stronger, a better human, stronger, faster, harder to kill.
Yeah, I'm all about that. So what were you doing before all this stuff? So that's kind of your goal now. Has that always been your goal, or were you into fitness earlier on, doing different things?
I've been kind of not a little bit all over the place. I did P90x for a while, and that was great, but then it was just too much time for me. And then I came across HIIT, high intensity intervals. And so I did that for probably 2 years. And I just kind of like made my own workouts and kind of improved them from there. If I wasn't working hard enough because this exercise wasn't intense enough, I'd change it up and just kind of try to incorporate the different areas of my body. And I also, at my old house, had a homemade TRX where I just had some tie down straps from the rafters, and I was doing just like complete suspension stuff. That's killer on your core. Like,
oh yeah,
trying to do push-ups on a TRX with your feet on a stability ball. You're just like, it adds a whole nother level of intensity to your training. And I just kind of created my own stuff for a while, and I had really good appearance results and like not bad performance results, but it wasn't like, I did that for 2 years and I don't think I got a whole ton stronger, but I had a killer six pack.
Nice.
So I was like, I want the killer six pack and I want to be stronger. So,
one
I
piece
remember
at a
how
time.
I stumbled on End of Three Fitness a few years ago, and I just been I'm like that, that creeper that kind of just like watches from a distance for the most part. But when you added the Harder to Kill for $7, I'm like, I got nothing to lose, $7. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't. You can't justify not buying that.
How can you say no
if you really
to
want to try something?
6 or 7 weeks of training, for $7? It's $1 a week, pretty
Right.
much. That's
right.
Yeah, that's that's a special promotion we run from time to time to try and get people to just try out our training, see what it's like, and I'm glad that you're on board, man.
Oh yeah, and I'm loving it. I'm only on day like 11, but it's pretty good.
Awesome.
Now that you're on the podcast, though, you're not so much in the shadows anymore.
Definitely not in the shadows. You're in the spotlight right now.
Well, the funny thing is I scheduled this appointment and I hadn't worked out in like 10 months, and I'm like, I really got to have something to tell them when they call me.
That's awesome. So a little motivation.
Yeah, it was kind of like
Whatever
myself.
works.
Like, I better get this going,
That's awesome. I kind of do I do a lot of things like that in my life. If there's like something I need to get done and I normally just like will tell a lot of people about it and kind of put a deadline. That way it forces me to like start doing stuff and start taking action. Like whatever the case is. Like if there's something new I want to create at Into 3 Fitness, but I just keep getting busy, I'll just email everyone and be like, hey, this new thing is finally coming out on this date at Into 3 Fitness. And then I'm like, okay, I just told tens of thousands of people there's no way I can like not do it now. So it's a great motivator. That's awesome, dude. All right, so how do you like training in your garage?
Well, I live in Michigan. It's kind of cold.
Oh, that's what I was wondering.
Yesterday was 3 degrees.
Woo.
Today's a rest day, so it's not so bad. I can do that in the house. But yeah, it's got its challenges. And we parked the car in the garage, so I've got all this water that I kind of got to work around. Because the snowy car comes in and it gets wet everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's definitely got its challenges, but I guess that's what it's about, right? Overcoming those challenges.
Do you have any heating elements?
No.
Oh.
I did a corner of insulation because that's all they had at Habitat for Humanity, and and eventually I'll hopefully insulate the whole thing.
Do you try and like?
I'm cheap, right?
Yeah. Do you try and like get in that corner specifically to like if you're doing burpees or something? You're like, I'll do it in the insulated corner.
Honestly, at that point, I don't really get that cold. You get heated up and stuff, and I actually kind of put these little pads just right here in the center, and that's where I do all my on the floor stuff because this is a dry spot. It's where I got room, and over here I'd have to move a bunch of stuff around. And
yeah, and that's something I'm finding out right now. So I lived in Texas for a long time, where the winters were never really that bad. So I felt like I didn't have anything to talk about when we're talking about cold garages, but. I mean, just the other day, it's getting down to low 20s, high teens, and I work out really early in the morning, pretty much when it's coldest. It's going to hit the lowest temperatures right when I'm walking into the garage. And even at like 17 degrees, I start with a hoodie and a beanie on and some like sweatpants, but it only takes 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm back into a t-shirt, and because it's just you start warming up so significantly. So now I'm starting to realize it's not as bad as people may think, or as long as you're moving.
My hardest thing is my hands.
Yeah.
My hands get cold. I gotta like put them down my pants to warm them up while I'm changing weights over and stuff. Like the little crevice between your legs. Just warm them up with one side at a time.
That's awesome.
Otherwise everything else works out. I heat up, but I just kind of get cold hands in the big all the time. Anyways, it's just kind of how
and
hands work.
It kind of forces me to always want to be doing some sort of conditioning, because if I'm just lifting, then I will be pretty cold. And so I make my warm-up like a little like quick circuit to try and like get my body heated up before I start lifting or doing anything else, which is a good fitness practice, warming up to begin with. But all right, man, so let's get to some of these more fun questions. What's the hardest workout you've ever done?
Ever. Gosh, probably when I first started P90x. This was like at the beginning of my workout, probably 4 or 5 years ago when I first got into the program thing. I did the chest and back workout, and I didn't pace myself. So the first push-up thing, I just like blew myself out, and the second one, but like before I'm halfway done, I can't even do a regular push-up. I'm like doing girl push-ups. Next day, or for like the next week, I literally couldn't. I had to like tuck my arm to my chest and wrap it up with a blanket to sleep, or else in the morning I could not bend my arms. That was probably like the worst. And I was actually like peeing brown for 3 days.
Oh, so that's officially Rhabdo.
It wasn't good. Yeah, that wasn't good.
So yeah, you had Rhabdo, which sounds like a mild case because you didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. That's pretty intense, man. So you took P90x to Rhabdo. That's amazing, and that qualifies as hardest workout I've heard of in a long time, because a lot of people are just talking about mentally. You broke your muscles down so badly that they actually got into your bloodstream. That's amazing. All right.
And not at the same time.
Well, no, it's impressive.
I didn't know there was a technical term for it.
Yeah. Well, it's like one of the biggest
a little concerned
concerns for high intensity exercise, especially like we ran into it in the military a lot. People who have kind of the mindset, like a really strong, mental toughness mindset. I'm going to get it done no matter what. They have that mindset, but their fitness hasn't been where it should have been, and so they're a little bit more mentally tough than they are conditioned, and so they bring that mental intensity to a body that's not ready for that level of intensity, and they break their muscles down beyond repair, and your body doesn't know what to do, gets in your bloodstream, poisons your kidneys, and can actually, fully shut down your kidneys if you get a real severe case of it. So if you ever pee brown again, maybe just stop in or check in with your doctor or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
In your opinion, what's the best activity for building mental toughness?
Oh, man. I don't know. Shoveling the driveway every morning sucks.
Yes.
There's your warm-up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I walk my dog, and then I shovel my driveway, and then I do my workout. So it's sometimes it can be really heavy, and being cheap, I don't buy a snowblower, so I have a shovel, and sometimes I want to quit, but I'm also a little anal. I don't like having those tire marks full of ice on your driveway, so I got to get it all off before we drive on it, or else it just packs down and
never.
I don't know. One of those things, just getting up, and you got to get up and do it, or it's just not going to get done.
And how long does that take you?
Shoveling the drive.
Yeah.
On a good day, 40 minutes. On a really heavy day, an hour and a half maybe.
Dang.
Because I'm really anal about stuff, so I get it perfect.
Wow.
I really just shove it all off, shove all the snow off a lot quicker, but I gotta dig up whatever stuck on the driveway, and so it just takes a little longer for me.
Yeah, I did not know that you were going to say anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour and a half. That's like all the time most people would have in the morning to be able to do anything, and then you're hitting a workout after. All right, man. So if you could only have one piece of equipment to train with for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Well, I was saying probably a pull-up bar. Like, I was debating between a jump rope and a pull-up bar, but
Okay.
A barbell, it's not as compact. You can't just take it anywhere. Like a pull-up bar or jump rope, you can take anywhere, and you can do a lot with body weight exercises. So, like, overall fitness, probably a pull-up bar, because that's something new. It's hard to replace with just body weight stuff, is the pulling motion.
Set of rings.
Yep, that's Joe's favorite. All right, so actually, I only have one question left. So, Joe, do you have any questions?
Yeah. So for your cold garage gym, if somebody asked you, if they could buy you one piece of equipment, no cost even considered, what would be at the top of your garage gym wish list?
A rack. Like
A rack?
Yeah, big. I don't know what they're called, but the big.
Probably a power rack, so you can have
a power rack. Yep, and then a place that I can squat safely and all that kind of stuff.
Perfect, man.
That would probably be. I'm debating building the DIY one.
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
Do it. All right, man. What is the best advice you have for other garage gym athletes out there listening to this?
It sucks sometimes, but you just gotta do it. Like, there's not really sometimes it's not easy. You just gotta do it. I mean, that's the best. You gotta find a way to do it. A lot of people always say, like, I don't have time. And once you come to the realization that you do have time, you don't make the time, then you're responsible for that. And so, like, I understand that, so I'm responsible for what I do with my time. It's not, I don't have the time. It's what am I doing with my time?
Perfect, man.
Driveway's not going to shovel itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome, dude. All right, man. Well, it's been a blast talking to you, and I really appreciate you being on the Garage Gym Athlete podcast, Tim. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks, guys.